I'm going to demonstrate bookingtalk.com working for a made-up business called the Nutrition Coach. And the Nutrition Coach is a business with two consultants working for them, and they've got their own website. So on their own website, someone has a book online button, and clicking that brings the customer to this page. So a customer can now see the available nutritionists, their dates and times, and a brief description of each nutritionist. Scrolling down, if a customer doesn't see an available date or time that suits, they've got this get availability alerts function, so they can sign up for a cancellation alert. If anybody cancels their appointment, I will get an email to say a slot has become available and with a link so I can book it directly. Also on this page, we can see that Sarah shows a lot more free times than Declan. Now that could be because Sarah's got less bookings than Declan, or it could be because Declan is using features that are built into the system, such as rolling blockages or restrictions, which allow the business to control the amount of free times that a customer can see, regardless of how many actual free times the business has. And there's also things to protect against short notice bookings. So I'll go ahead and I'll book Sarah for Monday the 25th, so I'll book her at 5 p.m. Now you'll notice on this page, I'm not required to create an account, sign up, register, anything like that. Just put in my contact details. The business can at this stage take a booking deposit or full payment if they so wish. In this case, the nutrition coach is not configured to do that. So scrolling down, a user will see a summary of what they're about to book. They have to agree to the data usage policy thanks to GDPR, and clicking on complete booking, the system warns them, hold on a second, you've missed something. So scrolling back up, we'll notice that there are booking questions. So the user or the business can set a number of booking questions that they want the customer to answer prior to completing their booking. They can mark the questions mandatory as well if they so wish. So in this case, this question has been marked mandatory. The one underneath has not, so I don't have to answer it. The add note, I can add a note to say I'll be 5 minutes late if I so wish. Clicking complete happens nice and quick. An email arrives into the business just as quick as that. So if I open that up, the business owner will get an email with the client's details, date and time of the booking, and what they've answered to any questions. The client will get a similar email. So I also want to show you, it's no longer necessary for you to answer your phone if the client is wishing to cancel their booking. So they can just go to bookingtalk.com. Now there'll be a link in their confirmation email for this as well. They can go to manage your booking, stick in their email address and their booking reference, retrieve the booking, and from here they can cancel it. If they're due a refund, they'll get a refund. If not, they won't, and that's up to the business owner to configure. Lastly, on this page, there's a button to click for events. So clicking on that, the nutrition coach has got a couple of things coming up. So they've got a talk on eating for pregnancy. If I click into that, I can see more information on that. I can see there's 60 places, there's 59 remaining, a description of the event. I can book for myself and some of my friends. Or the other event there is cooking skills for parents of celiac. So that event runs every Saturday morning for 4 weeks, and it's a higher price there as well. And that's more or less it from the customer facing pages of bookingtalk.com. So when you log into the back end or the dashboard of the system to see it as a business owner, the first thing you're going to see is the calendar with your appointments. So if I select Wednesday the 20th of June, I can see that Sarah's got one appointment at 12 with Julie. Clicking on that appointment and see more information about it. I can cancel the booking. I can add a note to Julie's appointment, and that will live on Julie. So if Julie books again, that note will still be attached to her, and any other subsequent notes that you would add to Julie. Back here, I can also, for Sarah, I can look at Sarah's availability for Wednesday, and I can make a booking through the dashboard. So if I have this laptop open in my clinic, and Julie wants another appointment after I see her, I can just search for her here because she's in the system, and it will automatically populate her details, and I can go ahead and make the appointment nice and quickly. I can also close off appointment times here. So or if Sarah wants to go home early on Wednesday, she's not going to be around for her 4 or 5 p.m. appointment, just can select those checkboxes and click close selected. And if I were to go back to my customer facing page by clicking on this link, I would see that those times are no longer available to book. I can simply reopen them by selecting closures, select all, and reopen. So I'll take you down through each of the other pages in the system very briefly. On business information, you can put some high-level information in here. Your data usage policy, you can change it there. Any terms and conditions you want the user to be aware of when booking. You can also set how far ahead of time that the user can look at your bookings calendar. So I've set to 8 weeks. You can set it to 2 weeks or whatever, or months, or days, completely up to you. Down here, you can show the end times of your appointment on the business profile page, or if you want the user to be able to make more than one appointment at a time so they can select multiple times, you can do that here. Waiting list, we can turn it on or off, and we can set our label on the click for events. So instead of click for events, it could be click here for nutrition talks. And going into client data, this is to do with data protection. So if I want to see all my clients, I will just search with the @ symbol, and I can see every client in the system. I can merge clients, I can export data. So if I click on Colin, for example, I can see any notes or bookings that Colin has ever made. I can export it, I can delete it. So a lot of powerful features there to help you comply with the GDPR regulations. Clicking on financials, I can look at any date range and see days that were more lucrative, how many bookings there were on certain days, credit card payments, cancellations, did not arrive. So if I click on that button, it will bring me to a search screen with those two appointments highlighted. This is the booking search screen, which I'll get to shortly. Set my address, upload photos, change my logo. I can add another nutritionist consultant here. So it would just be a matter of adding a new consultant, adding a nutritionist. I can set certain things, like if I don't want Sarah to be available to be booked online, I can hide her, and then only Declan will be bookable online, but I'd still have the functionality to book Sarah and myself through the dashboard. If, for example, as is quite common, nutritionists might share a room so that they both can't have bookings at the one time, if I set Sarah to block Declan, that would mean if Sarah's booked at 4 o'clock, Declan is unavailable at 4 o'clock. So there's a lot of clever features in there like that. I can set the timetable for each consultant. So we've already seen the days and times, but this is where I would set it on a broader outline. So whatever I set in here will be applicable to every Monday or every Tuesday or every Wednesday. So if I decide I now want to open on Saturdays, I can open and add times, and I can add my times one by one, or you know what, my timetable is going to be the same as Friday. So as a shortcut, I can select that checkbox and make it the same as Friday, and I automatically get those all filled in there. I just click save to enforce that. I can restrict viewable appointments. So like I said, I can say that I don't want any short notice bookings. So if I set this to be 24 hours, the earliest client is going to see, the earliest appointment they're going to see on the system, on the customer facing page, is 24 hours from the time they're looking at it. Or as we saw with Declan, no matter how many free times Declan has, between 9 and 12 only show one. Between 12 and 3 only show one. So up here is where I would set that restriction. Scrolling down, I can customize the booking email that gets sent to people when they book. So I can put a message in to say, please remember to bring your food diary. Business close dates, it's fairly straightforward. If we're closed on bank holidays, so we'll go with the August bank holiday, and we just close that date. Down here, SMS reminders. So if you purchase SMS reminders in the system, 24 hours before a client is due in, they will get a text message to say, in my case, my name is Niall. If I booked, it would say, hi Niall, you have a booking tomorrow with Declan at whatever time it is. Please call this number if you cannot attend. And the message will say it's from TNC, so the nutrition coach. It can be anything up to 11 characters. So for example, the message would look something like that, were to appear on your phone, with the red values substituted with the values that you configure on the screen. Booking codes, we can have a number of discount codes. So if we were taking a payment on the booking screen, we can set up a code here so to give to our good customers, so they enter a code and they no longer have to enter a payment. We can offer discounts, so a user can get 5% off if they use a certain code, or we can make it that a user cannot book unless they have a code. Flexible pricing, you can add a message in, so to say that a user is only all students are due 5% off on the production of a valid student ID. We can hide our price from the business profile page if we so wish. On the bookings or in search bookings, we can look at all our bookings for certain dates. We can filter on if they were cancelled, if they were set as did not arrive or no shows. We can search for a booking by reference, or we can search for bookings for by consultants. A waiting list, I don't think there's anybody on it at the minute. It's empty. But if there were on it, it's in here. They would appear in events. So some nice handy features in events. We go to events. There are 2 nutrition talks we've set up. So eating for pregnancy, for example, if I click view and book, I can again make bookings through the dashboard because I'm logged in as a business owner. So the situation will be somebody has called me up, I answer the phone, I open bookingoff.com and I see what's left and available for that. So here is Shauna, she's booked into this. I've got her contact details there. So Shauna, and we could say several other people that were booked in. If that was the case, we click on this. We can send an email to every attendee on the course or everybody who's enrolled to remind them to bring whatever it is you want them to bring, or to tell them we're going to be an hour late, whatever it is. Or clicking on this button will allow us to print off a list of attendees that you can have in the venue on the day, and you can see the status such as who's paid what and who owes what. Regarding events, it's very easy and quick to create an event, so I'm going to do so now. I'll call it Basic Cookery Classes. In here I could put the description, so I'm just going to fill that out with some sample data just to speed up the demo. We can set the location of the event to be wherever we want, but it will default to the registered business address. So I'm going to make this a cookery class that's going to run every Saturday, let's say from the 4th of August until maybe the 29th September. So it's a pay-as-you-go cookery class, and it's at 12 in the afternoon on Saturdays until, we'll say, 3. So we could add another time in there if we want. I won't. It's limited in capacity. We can say it's limited to 24. A customer must enroll for one event in the series, so in other words, it's pay as you go. There is a cost. We'll make it €50 and a full €50 to attend. So when Stripe take their cut, 48.83 will go into your bank account. The booking can be refunded, but we must have, let's say, 48 hours notice, and the system will automatically handle that. Booking questions can be whatever you want. I'm not going to put any in. I'm just going to write now, thank you for booking. All pans, etc. are supplied. Down here, terms and conditions on the EPC. Clicking save, and that event is now live. So if we go back to our customer facing page, we can see that clicking on click for events, there is a new event here, pay as you go cooking classes, and unlike these 2 events, so if I look at the one for celiacs, that is a set date, so it's not a pay as you go. And if I go back to the pay as you go for cookery classes, we can see that a calendar shows, because it's pay as you go, a user can dip in and out of the class as they so wish. And within the event, similar thing, we can send a message to all attendees, we can print off attendees, we can reserve places by closing them off, edit the event. Credit card payments, we can take standalone credit card payments. Somebody walks into your practice and wants to pay by card, just put their details in here and the amount. So about €50, and payment relates to, so we'll have to select a consultant, and this will fire off to Stripe, authenticate the payment, and once it's been it goes through, you get an email straight away, as does the client. And then in my account, there's things we can do like changing your bank account details and so on and so forth, and downloading your invoices and receipts, paying your invoices. So that's more or less it for the system. If there's any questions, send them through to info@bookingoff.com. Thanks a lot.